There's no magic in it. Just work assiduously and almost on a daily basis. I'm there either in the lanes or talking about it or coaching the bowlers or having meetings on bowling with my exco, because these are things that are required to keep an association active and going, and with that the sport. If you don't have meetings, you don't talk to your exco, then the association goes to sleep and you won't be promoting the sport. That's it. There are no secrets about it. No, I didn't plan it. I just worked on a day-to-day basis what is required for that particular time and what is required for the future for the sport. Because if you don't promote the sport, you'll find it difficult to get funding. Without funding, no sports association can move. Very important. And the way to get funding is to popularize your sport, get champions, preferably world champions, that will make news. Guys like you will write about it. If no world champions or zone champions, you guys are not interested. So the aim is to train our guy, expose them to as many championships as possible, so that somewhere along the line our boys or our girls can win. And strangely, but not really strangely, our girls were the ones who were winning. I don't want to give the reasons, but they were good, consistent, and they were there all the time, committed. Not that the boys were not. They had stiffer and wider competition. So that's how it went. Yes, by and large. Funding, not enough. And funding, as I said, comes from the publicity of the sport. That's where you folks come in. And we have to win some titles to give you guys something to write about. So my aim was to get our guys, at least one guy from somewhere, to win a title, then come to you guys and say, hey, my guy has won this. Then that will give you to write about. And that starts a ball rolling, fundraising. People know about it. They bring their children to bowl. Very safe. You can come and bowl in the morning, noon or night, rain or shine. And it's a very safe place. No drugs and things like that. And I provide championship, both local, state, and national. And also hold selection at state and national level to select the bowlers to go and participate in overseas tournament. It may sound selfish, but me winning the first national championships. And fortunately, as I said earlier, I held it in Penang. So people can't say that if I held it in KL and won it, I knew the lanes, and therefore it was not difficult for me to win. It so happened very casually. We were there was one championship going on, so I said, why don't we call it the national championship? And I just had the ball, went and played and won, to my surprise. That was because I was bowling, as I said earlier, from the outside, and very few people use the outside lanes there at home during the day-to-day. So I was able to find the line and find the pocket quite consistently.
Where was this held, Datuk?
It's held at Penang Bowl.
Penang Bowl.
It had 8 lanes upstairs,
Okay.
8 lanes downstairs.
This was in
So it's quite
1970.
difficult, quite difficult. 2 different lanes you got to bowl on. And as I said, I found the outside lane good for me, my style. I was a full roller, and full rollers don't hook so much. So bowling from outside, where there is oil, I can get consistency. Whereas if you move into the 10th board or 15th board, there will be less oil as you play on, and then there will be too much hooking and therefore inconsistency. The key ingredient is to make it popular. That's where you folks come in. That's where I have to come in, because I have to give you guys something to write about. And what you guys are interested are championships, state, national, international. And hosting these costs money, so I have to lean on some of my wealthier friends to sponsor some part of the event. So I held regularly state championships, national championships, and took the guys overseas for overseas championships. Raising funds. Without funds, not only sports, almost anything cannot move. Nothing can move. That's the name of the game. Funds. I would say any sport. If you've got a leadership that is prepared to work, and if you can persuade sponsors to come in and sponsor the event, and if you are yourself hardworking, then you can make a success. Continue on the same mode. Hold championships, state, national, international, and these days, those days, my earlier days, that's 50 years ago, you win a title alone is enough. Nowadays, they want money with it. So you have to get sponsors to come in with 3,000, 5,000 as champion. Very hard. I tried my very best. I spoke to every one of the selectors there. There are 8 of them. They've been there for many years, and they know all about all the other sports. There are about 7 or 8 sports that are desperate like us. Mainly selfish purposes. They want to popularize the sport, so they can go and tell the parents, everybody, oh, bowling is in the Olympics. So one day your son or daughter can be an Olympic champion. That's a great, great inducement. I tried my best. I got into the top 4 shortlisted, but then the condition at that time was the top 4 at that time must retire. Then the top 4 new sports can get in. And it was agreed. Then last minute in Mexico, the top 4 guys refused to retire. So they stayed on and they won. So there was no place for bowling and the other 4. We were top of the 4 on the shortlisted numbers. So that was the end of. I don't think bowling will get into the Olympics at all, because their main this thing is self-centered. They asked me, how many spectators do you have during the championships? Because they want publicity and TV. I had to half bluff them and say 50,000, because there was one event in Finland which has a seating capacity of 50,000. I quoted that. In fact, that was the only one that was 50,000 The rest were all 2,000, 3,000 seating. But even that didn't attract enough attention. There are many other sports that want to come in as well. As far as bowling is concerned, I'm retired. I will support, of course I will support bowling, but I won't be actively involved in raising funds or holding championships. These are two huge tasks which requires a lot of presence at the bowling center and meeting up with potential sponsors and so on. So that's one of the reasons why I retired. I can't find the time or the energy. I'm 90, so to move, to get going is a challenge. Lazy. As you get older, you get lazy, you don't want to move. That's why I retired. I thought a younger chap can come in and take it up as a challenge. It's easier now that the game is popular. Parents are keen on the game, which is important because they are the ones who bring their 12-year-old, 13, 15 years old to bowl and pay for it. And they find the place clean, neat, no drugs.